The fourth presenter is Lesley Danzig from Edinburgh Hebrew Congregation, a person close to my heart because I worked for 9 years in Scotland and spent lots of time at Edinburgh Hebrew Congregation.
Okay. My name's Lesley Danzig and I lead Edinburgh Hebrew Congregation's Green Team. Our team began life just before the pandemic and lockdown in February 2020 and is a subcommittee of the main board of management of Edinburgh Hebrew Congregation. We report back to the board at each of their meetings, and we were awarded Eco Synagogue Silver Award for our audit achievements. Edinburgh Hebrew Congregation is a community of around 125 members, regularly supplemented by friends and visitors. Our shul is in the centre of Edinburgh and was built in 1932, amalgamating 3 separate congregations in the one building. We have a beautiful synagogue seating 500 people, a large community centre with a capacious kitchen, excellent for preparing event meals. And the grounds at the back of the building have much potential. We've got quite a lot of ground. The trees have self-seeded into a small wood in the centre of the garden, but there is room for a planned biblical garden, future raised beds. Presently, we've got compost bins, fruit trees, herbs, and so on. We've got 3 compost bins, one that was purpose-built by one of our members. Cooks are encouraged to gather uncooked vegetable and fruit peelings, etc., to place in the compost bin. And we do have a lot of events and hiring of our premises. By the way, you have to be careful to tear up home compostable hand towels before placing them in the bins to avoid them compacting, and that I'm telling you from experience. We're also refining our kitchen signage to promote the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. To encourage purchasing locally sourced and seasonal ingredients, a weekly list in the Green Matters section of EHC's newsletter, the Shavuon, of Scottish and UK grown food for each month was published. An invitation has also been sent out to members and friends at this harvesting time of year to bring their extra garden produce to freeze in the shul for cooks to use. There's a variety of Scottish grown vegetables in season throughout the year, including mushrooms and cauliflower, broccoli, sprouts, cabbage, kale, leeks, onions, and carrots. Local seasonal fruits include apples, pears, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. But readers are warned that soft local fruits available out of season often require a lot of energy to grow. Over the last 3 years, the Green Team have prepared vegetarian kiddushim with in-house baked cakes and vegetarian dips, lunches with veggie lasagna, and prepared in-house desserts with recipes that we publish in our Shavuon. Preparing dips, main courses, and baking our own cakes using as much local produce as possible, rather than ordering from the deli in Glasgow or buying in ready-made food, reduces our carbon footprint. Our kiddushim and lunches have coincided with COP26, 27, and this year COP28, and also Tu B'Shvat. We have had speakers at these eco-events, but also included a short introduction from the team about the food being offered. Many of EHC initiatives, including hall hire, are run by different groups throughout the year, and being Jewish, most involve food. We're working hard to pool our resources to avoid overstocking and duplication of ingredients in the kitchen, ultimately resulting in food waste. Kitchen users are encouraged to check the cupboards for ingredients before purchasing what they need for their own specific recipes. An application has been made to the local council for funding to upgrade the garden, including raised beds, an area with bark chippings, more fruit trees, and the clearing of some self-seeded trees to allow more light for a biblical garden. Our intention is to grow the most commonly used vegetables in the kitchen, for example, onions, leeks, and potatoes, but with the least work to look after as we rely on volunteers visiting the garden to water and look after the plants. The Green Team is also looking to installing a water butt in the garden to use the collected rainwater to water. Our young fruit trees have yet to produce enough fruit to be meaningful. They're about 3 years old. A herb table was built by one of our members and installed last spring. Parsley, chives, oregano, and thyme were planted in it, along with globe carrots and nasturtiums. We're still experimenting with which herbs are the most popular, and although nasturtiums are edible, it's not clear if anyone picked the flowers or the leaves to put in their salads. I think we need more education. Horseradish is now growing heartily in a couple of pots and hopefully will have roots in time for Pesach. The media updates information regularly about food miles, and in February we published a very enlightening article about the carbon footprint of particular items. For example, air transport of all green beans is only 25% of emissions created by cumulative car trips to the supermarket to buy these beans. Now I have an alert. Strawberries from Perthshire, advertised as locally grown, turned out to be grown on coir from Sri Lanka, with seedlings from the Netherlands, fertilizer from North Africa, and packed in boxes from China. It seems the only way to confirm local growth, and even then it's not guaranteed, is to pick your own, grow your own, buy a local veg box, or shop at a local farmer's market. All is not what is written on the box. Another of our initiatives was to encourage our Rabbi, David Rose, to contribute a weekly Green Devar alongside his Devar Torah, published every week in EHC's newsletter. Rabbi Rose is a member of EHC's Green Team and is very environmentally conscious. Every week he teases out the Jewish rationale for looking after the planet according to the Torah portion for that week. For example, Deuteronomy Shoftim proscribes wanton destruction of fruit trees, even at a time of war. Rabbi Rose in his Green Devar wrote, if during a time of war we are to protect nature, how much more so in daily life? Parsha Matot Masai in Numbers orders the creation of green belts around cities. Rabbi Rose concluded, thus the Torah anticipated the need for green spaces in our cities and giving a nature home, which we can also benefit from. Bamidbar sets forth the frightening prediction of destruction and exile if the Jews don't observe the Torah. The Rabbi's Green Devar read that week, the Torah specifically connects the desolation of the land with failure to observe the sabbatical year. If because of our mistreatment of the earth it rebels against us, where will we go? We've learned through the Rabbi's Green Devars that as Jews we are tasked with protecting our environment. Even in biblical times, the Torah writers and commentators recognize the need to ensure that nature and the earth is protected. EHC's Green Team has also concentrated its efforts into achievable environmental changes where feasible in our synagogue building. We're working hard to promote recycling and insulation against loss of heat where possible. Articles published in the Green Matters section of the Shavuot and subsequently posted on our foyer notice board inform members what changes can be made at home. Our main challenge is to do with changing hearts and minds. If anyone would find my presentation useful, I can email you a copy, but I realize that it's being recorded. So, but if you wish, please let Fiona Frank know. Thank you for listening.